Hey guys! Did you know that it's actually a law that you have to start a YouTube video by saying, hey guys? Well, it's true. So that's why I'm starting my video today with, hey guys, we are gonna make an Instant Pot vegetarian chili. Super healthy, super easy, and I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. And you can do it at home if you have an Instant Pot. So I have the Instant Pot set to saute, so it's just getting hot. Yep, it's hot. I'm going to start with some olive oil. I see a lot of videos where they saute with water. That's not sauteing, but do what you feel. I'm going to put in some olive oil. It's probably like 3 tablespoons, something like that. And I have here one large diced onion, a diced red bell pepper, and I diced up about half of a peeled butternut squash into little pieces. So that's all just kind of mixed together, and I'm going to add that all into my Instant Pot. So right away, I'm going to add some salt and pepper to this. The salt will help draw the moisture out of the vegetables and help them start to saute and cook a little more. It's my salt, and I'm going to do some pepper. We have a lot of great spices that we're going to add to this today. So this just takes a few minutes to really kind of get going. Just going to let it go for a few minutes here. So just to walk you through the spices that we're going to be adding, I have, of course, chili powder, cumin, my favorite, I'm a cumin junkie, a little bit of coriander, some cayenne for heat, and some paprika. If you have a certain spice blend that you like to use, or if you have a brand of chili powder that you prefer, of course, feel free to mix it up, do whatever kind of chili that you like to make. We are going to add our dried spices to the sauteing vegetables because it's going to allow those spices to kind of bloom in the oil, and the olive oil is going to draw out all of the flavor in the spices and is going to add that much more flavor to your chili. The Instant Pot is pretty hot. Doing a good job sauteing, so I'm going to go ahead and add my spices. So first we'll do the chili powder, and sorry that I don't measure, but you just have to measure with your eyeballs and measure with your taste buds when it's done. So I'm just going to sprinkle some chili powder in there. A little bit stuck. Get your chili powder. Next we're going to do our cumin. I love cumin, so I go pretty heavy on it, but again, do it to your taste. Just a little bit of coriander. This is really pretty strong, and you don't want to dominate the flavor with this, so I just do just a sprinkle. Paprika does not have a super strong flavor, so you can use kind of a heavy hand with the paprika. It adds really nice color and just kind of brings out the depth of the other spices. And cayenne, of course, choose your own adventure. I love things spicy, so I'm going to make this spicy. If you're sensitive to heat, just start with a little. You can always like add hot sauce or something later, but you can't take the spice away. So remember that. So I'm going to be liberal with the cayenne. I'm just going to give that a stir. I'm going to make a little hole where my tomato paste is going to go. So like I said, we're just going to put the whole can in, which probably seems like a lot, but tomato paste is actually packed with umami flavor, and it ends up tasting really good, and it's going to be diluted with some water, so you're not going to get like a super intense tomato paste dominant flavor. Now we're going to add our crushed tomatoes. So again, this is a whole 28-ounce can of Italian crushed tomatoes. There's no basil or anything in here, it's just the tomatoes. So we're going to add that. And then what I do is I just swish the can with water. So I just pour like a cup of water in there, swish it around, and then dump that liquid. So you're getting the residual tomato, you're not wasting anything, and you're also adding some liquid to your chili. This is 3 regular size cans of beans. There's cannellini beans, chickpeas, and what are just called pink beans. You can use any beans that you want, black beans, kidney beans, Pick a bean, any bean. It's up to you. So these are 3 that I like, and I have drained them and rinsed them to get that kind of overly salty, kind of canned flavor out of the way so it doesn't impact the flavor of our chili. And I'm gonna add all of these right in. So now I can tell that, you know, I am gonna need a little more liquid in here. Like right now it's a very, very thick consistency, and I do wanna thin this out with a little bit more water. So I'm just gonna grab my water and again, just kind of eyeball this. It's probably about another cup, if I had to guess. And now we have, you know, remember that the vegetables are going to release liquid of their own. The onions, the peppers, the butternut squash, even the beans, all those have lots of water inside of them, and that water is going to come out during the cooking process. But you do want to make sure that you don't end up with a super dry chili. I don't know if you can hear all of those dogs losing their freaking minds in the hallway, but you know what? This is apartment living, and sometimes those dogs just absolutely freak out. One thing I do want to add, I should have done this before and I forgot, but it's my first video, so you know, live and learn. I'm going to crush up some garlic. This is actually a rock that I got in El Salvador, and that's what I use to crush my garlic. I am weird. If you're not weird, just use the side of your knife like a normal person, or peel the garlic however you see fit. You really don't have to be too precious about, you know, mincing up the garlic really finely, because the pressure cook feature on the Instant Pot is going to basically obliterate it. So, you know, you don't have to spend a ton of time like mincing. Normally it's like you have to simmer something for a really long time to really coax out all of those flavors. But with the Instant Pot, the pressure just forces the flavors to happen faster. So that beeping means, yes, I understand that you want me to cook bean/chili. The automatic setting is 15 minutes. So it just takes a little bit of time for the pressure and the steam to build up. So that's what we're waiting on now. Once that happens, the clock will start counting down backwards 15 minutes, and it will get to obviously 0. You have 2 choices. You can manually release the steam, or you can let it sit and let the steam, let the pressure kind of go down for maybe 10 minutes on its own. Depends on how much in a rush you are. If you have time, I would say let the pressure come down naturally for as long as you can, simply because, again, that's just going to be building flavors in there the longer it sits. But of course, if you're like, no, I want my chili now, manually release the steam and you can go ahead and get in there. The pressure hasn't really gone down that much. I did let it sit for about 10-ish minutes. There's still a lot of pressure in there, so I am going to do the manual steam release. A good way to do this is to just grab a kitchen towel, and all you have to do is just flip it from ceiling to venting, but obviously, like, don't stand like this over the steam. You'll burn your face off. So I like to put this over my hand, flip it, and you'll hear it release. So we're just going to turn it the opposite way, and that means you can open it. Woohoo! Yummy! It is really hot, but it is delicious, and I don't think it needs any more salt or anything. It is on the spicy side. I told you it would be because of that cayenne. I think it's really perfect. The spices are really coming through. The butternut squash kind of balances everything with a little sweetness. The beans are perfectly tender. The butternut squash is perfectly tender, and it's wonderful. So I'm going to put it in a bowl, put some final toppings on it, and I'll show you the finished product. So I just topped this with a little bit of Monterey Jack cheese, cilantro, sour cream. Obviously, it's completely plant-based in its original form. So of course, if you're vegan, just leave out the dairy as the toppings. And if not, feel free to top it with anything that floats your chili boat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and happy Instant Potting.